Hi, welcome. This is Metamorphosis Mentors. I am your host, Liz Michael. Today we have with us Michele Vrabel, who has her own podcast, Old School, and her new book coming out called Butterfly Stitches. We're going to talk about her book and her life's journey and joy and healing and how God has shown up. So how do you feel that you not only have this forgiveness and healing process that's going on within you, but where do you find the joy? Because healing can happen. Does joy always come with healing?
I think so, but for this reason. The Lord has taught me that that's a choice, just like all the other choices we make.
Right.
We have this free will. And people ask me how I'm doing every day, and I'm fabulous. And I have a friend, Daniel, who was on my podcast, and he loves it. He says, every time I call the office, he goes, I hope you answer the phone because I know you're going to tell me that you're fabulous. And I, not because I'm manufacturing that, not because it's fake, but because when I wake up in the morning, I have to choose how I'm going to go through that day. Do fabulous things happen to me all day long? Not necessarily, but some do.
Yes.
But one of the best fabulous things that happen is that I choose that's how I'm going to be.
Right.
And I honestly believe that as I walk through the day, that the people who encounter me when I feel that way and when I've made that choice take a little fabulous with them.
Yes.
So I think joy is there.
Yes.
It's there for the taking.
Yes.
It's not contingent on any circumstances. It's not contingent on whether or not other people behave that way or not, because I work in accounting and taxes. People aren't joyful a lot of the times when we're having to tell them,
or
you
maybe
owe,
any time.
you owe 40 grand to the government.
Yes.
So I think when we make those choices and then we encounter others in the world, and that's another way that people who might not ever see Jesus get to see Jesus, because he is literally the only reason I'm able to choose that joy. Because I do know that everything, the joy and the valleys and the mountaintops are all temporary. Once you get to the mountaintop, there's another valley on the other side and then another mountaintop down the way. And that's okay, because he gives us the strength to walk through each and every one of those. And it all hones and sharpens us, and I love every bit of it. People hear about my childhood and they're brought to tears and they don't know how. They look at me and they go, when I met you, I would have never thought that even a tenth of this was a part of your story.
Yes.
And I'm like, that shows you what Jesus does with our story.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yes. So you got to go buy my butt.
Yes, absolutely. Right? Got to get it out there first. You know that there is a step
it's coming.
Yes. Hang on, everybody. It is good, though. It is very well written. I appreciate that. Choosing joy. Because if you don't choose joy, what are you choosing?
Well, you could choose misery, to be perfectly honest. I feel like that's the opposite. Okay. Although one time our pastor did this sermon, which I thought was very interesting. He said the opposite of love isn't hate, it's apathy.
Yes.
And if you literally sit in apathy towards other humans, towards your own life, that is just the most sad situation. I honestly believe that is more the reason for my divorce than anything.
Okay.
There was infidelity,
Tell me about that. Okay.
But I think apathy, absolute apathy for me was what, there in the last few rounds of counseling, there were 8 rounds of counseling. The last few rounds, he was not engaged.
Okay.
He probably wasn't in all 8, but
you recognize
at the end, I started to say, I see a pattern.
Yes.
So if we don't stop and say that, I mean, I know this sounds so wild, and most people just do not find the belief that I could feel this way, but even from 2 years old, I never once in my life felt like a victim. Yeah. I was the victim of abuse, but I never sat in that. I never looked around and said, I'm going to act like the devil over here, and I'm allowed to. Because I've been through this, so I get to do this. And believe it or not, there have been people who've commented in my life and especially in recent years, that I deserve to do multiple things. Like I should have turned away from men into a lesbian lifestyle because they were all so mean to me, or this, that, and the other. It's amazing what interesting advice people put out there, and how every bit of it would have left me sitting in some kind of victimhood, blaming everything and all the stuff that was going on around me. And certainly there is no way I'm walking in this life without having those things as part of my lens.
Yes.
They certainly are.
Yes.
And I think it's awesome because it helps teach me. I was sharing with you about a date as we came into this recording,
Right.
and the Lord was letting me use the stuff he taught me to like be able to discern. Discernment is my favorite buzzword, because every bit of what I've been through is showing me how to have discernment, not to put myself into those situations again.
Yes.
You know, Adam said, "That woman you gave me made me sin." Well, he can't get away with that because he was told the truth too. However,
Yes.
I can't sit there and say to God, "That man you gave me," because I didn't pray about him before I started dating him. I didn't pray about marrying him. I didn't pray, I didn't ask Jesus' opinion. So every bit of entering into that relationship was pointing towards it having a tough time. So I don't get to sit around and blame God for my choices or where I'm at. I mean, I joke that I'm a little bummed that if it was going to end because of the infidelity and the counseling, I wish it had ended earlier so I would have stayed looking younger and been more marketable. But nonetheless, if you don't choose that joy, if you don't accept the discernment and the learning and the knowing in the healing process, I can't even imagine what, I don't know the word for what that means, but I don't want to sit in that. Definitely don't want to sit in that.
I think it's just interesting that, at least in my life, as I go further along and have had many life circumstances happen, that when something else starts happening that may not be the best situation or the best opportunity in my life, that sometimes now, not always, takes me a while sometimes, but sometimes I can actually get up and say, God, I just can't wait to see what you do with this and how you get me out the other end, because there's an out the other end. I just don't know what that is yet, and just help my eyes and ears to be open to where I'm supposed to walk and go and how, and engage in this whole situation so that I can get through this. What am I supposed to learn in the process? And trying to be aware every day that I wake up and choose joy, that in this day, there's going to be these struggles and this turmoil and these situations I need to come with. What am I supposed to learn? Where's my lesson for today? Who am I supposed to help? Who's supposed to see you in my eyes today, God?
Yeah.
In my hands, in my feet, in my mouth. Who is supposed to hear what you are bringing out in my body? And it gives me a different perspective of how to live my life and live it full of joy, because I choose it, just as you say, and how to walk forward in the healing of yesterday and today and tomorrow, because we're going to have all this turmoil.
Well, it's so funny too, because again, back to like people who don't want to acknowledge God when the good things are happening,
Yes.
but do want to blame him when the bad.
Right.
And sometimes we're in those things.
Yes.
But of our own doing.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
And
So, but he honors us by saying, all right, you got yourself in this mud puddle.
Yes.
I'm going to show you what you get to learn.
Right.
One, not only to walk through it, but then two, not to get in it again.
Yes, absolutely.
You see the mud puddle on the path in front of you. You can walk around it.
Yes.
I showed you a way
Yes.
around it.
Yes.
So I just feel that is absolutely a part of the healing and the growing and the honing process. And, I every morning I do a Bible study. I do inductive studies. And then I go sit in my living room and talk out loud with the Lord. My daughter probably thinks I'm crazy, but she probably already thought that anyway. So I sit out there and I have these conversations with him, and we've dispensed with subtlety is my favorite phrase. He is so quick to answer me in regard to how this day belongs to him and this is how it's going to go. And instead of me bringing a bunch of stuff and dumping it at his feet and say, just please bless this so I can like go about my day.
Yes.
He gives me better than I ever
Yes,
asked or
absolutely.
imagined.
Yes.
So he won't give me how I'm going to get out of something. He gives me just enough light for the next step because Michele will go in there and try and manipulate it. Yes. I joke that, okay, I'm divorced. I'm trying to date, although I can't do that from my couch at home. I need to get out in the public. But anyway, if he told me the man I have for you is going to be at a Starbucks near your house, I would get out there and start going to all the Starbucks, all gussied up, and try and put my fingers in it and mess it up. So he's not going to do that. But there is a requirement for me to participate in my story with him. So I love it. He gives me just enough that he knows his child. He knows his princess is going to listen and go this far, and that's all the farther I need to know.
Yes. Yes. And that is definitely a faith walk, for sure.
Absolutely.
Because you're like, yes, but
yeah, that doesn't seem.
And it looks like
that doesn't seem right to me. But then he says, "Really?
Let's talk about this.
How has right to you looked in the past?
Right. What experience do you have with right? Let's talk about this.
Running the universe.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, I've always said God's got the best sense of humor. He created us, so He's got to have the best sense of humor.
Absolutely.
We are both on the other side of 60. So part of my mission in life is to help people learn how to live the last part of their life, thriving, not just surviving.
Absolutely.
How would you say that you have learned to thrive in your life? Because definitely you have. I've witnessed that. Even in just the short time that I've known you in the last year, I have seen you grow and expand and just blossom, from a lack of another term to say, into this beautiful flower. Aww. And just growing every time I talk to you. It's just very exciting to witness this. So how are you going to use this to move forward? And I feel that God gives us these opportunities in our lives to share our experience and share what we've learned and share our journey, as you've done with your book and your next book as well. But also, how are you thriving beyond that?
Well, it wasn't because I was so obedient prior. Would have been great if obedience had set in my 30s and 40s. There was a period of time after a lot of the abuse when I was younger where I kind of walked away from the Lord. And I talk about that in my book. And then I felt Him calling me back, as He always does.
Yes.
He patiently waits for us, called me back, and I found a church home, and then I was unequally yoked, married to my now ex-husband, and so the process of me starting to come back into a proper relationship with Him has been, another 20-year journey or so, and I don't sit in like a shame or anything like that, but I am disappointed in myself that it took to my 60s. But after my divorce, I was literally like on my face with the Lord. He kind of had me where He needed me to be to start to receive better, like how my story was going to help me thrive, help me grow. And then with each passing situation, I find that what the most part is people call it getting out of their comfort zone. Well, I don't know that I ever had a comfort zone. I feel like I'm like, where was my comfort zone? And, but He has me not out of my comfort zone. He has me into His purpose. And that is how I can thrive, is because if I'm listening to Him and being obedient to the purpose He has for leaving me here, every morning, I thank Him for a good night's sleep, and I thank Him for waking me up.
Yes.
Every morning. Yes. So the ability to thrive comes totally from Him and the purpose He has for me and me leaning into it.
Yes.
And sometimes I don't understand it.
Yes.
I really had no plans to write a book. Definitely no plans to listen to Bob and start a podcast. Yes. But I got to tell you, every single second of what He's walking me through is joyful. It
Yes.
really is. And there's some hard stuff.
Yes.
Like recently I had a lesson, and I think I don't know if I had a chance to share it with you yet, but I was at the point in my edits where I was supposed to put names in.
Oh, yes.
And I was thinking about, okay, I have to legally think about what could these people do, even though the story's true.
Right.
Like I had to think about those things. And I had left that particular edit to the end. And I was thinking about my biological father. And in my brain, I'm thinking, could he sue me or something like that?
Sure.
And some people had said to me, when it comes to memoirs, in order for people to sue you, they have to step up and say, I'm the one that did that.
Right,
So that
right.
helps with some of the other abusers. My father would be easy to be found out. But
Sure.
anyway, the Lord said to me as if he was audibly speaking to me, he's not going to sue you. This is his redemption. How? Is he going to buy the book? Is he going to see it? Is he going to buy the book and want to sue me, but yet be redeemed out of it? I don't know.
Right.
But I can rest and trust in the Lord. And I have to tell you, it wasn't like a bad punch in the gut, but it was something shamefully that I had never considered. If I believe that what I believe is really real, and I accept redemption from the Lord for all I have done, I have to believe that every one of my abusers can have redemption.
Yes.
And there's
How's
a
that
lot
feel?
of people that ruffle some things. You know what? It wasn't bad,
Okay.
but it was shocking to me and made me cry
Yes.
was that I had not even considered it.
Yes.
I forgave him years ago,
Yes.
so I wouldn't carry that.
Yes.
But the thought of praying for him,
Yes.
the thought of him getting redemption was so, I was like, why is this bizarre to me? Why didn't I think of that? Why didn't I think of that for every one of my abusers? I mean, isn't that the point of my book?
But maybe the time wasn't right.
It wasn't, buddy. It was now. The Lord, I mean, and week after week, what he has done. I went to church, and our senior pastor was at our campus, and he asked me about the book and stuff, and we were talking. And when I told him what the Lord had said to me, he grabbed my hands and asked my father's name. I don't know that I ever spoke my father's name because I never had to. He was my father, so I never called him by his name. And he asked me if we could pray for him. Well, he's crying, I'm crying. It was crazy. And I was like, I have not out loud or even quietly prayed ever
Yes.
for my father.
Yes.
Is that a thing? Can you even imagine anybody listening to this when you put this podcast out there? I know people who would be like, never,
Yes.
not going to happen. Not going to forgive my father for what he did to me. He doesn't deserve redemption. They put their father or whoever abused them over in the Hitler category.
Yes.
You know, Hitler didn't deserve it, whatever.
Right.
But as believers,
Yes.
we have to believe it.
We do.
So it's been a journey,
Yes.
and it has every minute of it been thriving in the sense that my faith has been strengthened. My relationship with the Lord is so strong right now and so growing. Not that I don't make mistakes, not that I don't make bad choices, but I feel like I'm probably, and he's probably just like exhaling at me and rolling his eye. Finally, I am like in that great space for our story to do what it's supposed to do, and it will accomplish what he sets out for it to accomplish.
Yes.
I know that.
I love it. Well, I think this is a great way to conclude our chat today. So appreciate your time and your willingness to come on and just to share your heart and how you feel that God has touched you, used you, grown you. And thank you for being my friend as well.
Oh,
May God
thank you so
continue to
much.
bless you with your journey and how he is using it and exposing it for you and others, and to bring healing and joy back into life.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You were a divine appointment. Giving you a ride to Bible study a few
know.
months back, and here
I
we are.
know.
What a great connection the Lord has provided for
I
us both.
know. It's so bizarre to me how God's just put people into my life that out of nowhere and just made these opportunities come about that I had no idea this is where I was headed.
Absolutely.
It's
So much fun.
wonderful, isn't it?
It is.
Love you.
I love you too.
Thanks for coming along today in this journey, and we ask that you just like, follow, subscribe, and also buy Michelle's book, and like her podcast as well. It's a great one. I think you'll enjoy it as well.